Next question is from TBRS Brew Space on Instagram. He's looking for better foam on his lager. He's used Tetra, the hop oil that can also contribute bitterness. It's added in the bright tank. It can add bitterness. Even at that stage, and increase foam stability. I've used Carapils. Is step mash the fix? And it sounds like he's brewing this on the on professional scale. Because as we go through, I asked him for a recipe because that can play in. He said the recipe is 79% pills, 5% Carapils, 2.5% Munich, 2.5% biscuit, 11% flake corn, 12 IBU of Magnum, a little kiss of Sazlay. We mash for 45 minutes at 66C or 151F. No mash out. Sparge at 76C or 169F. He is using S189 or Nova Lager. If they are hard up for time, it's our house lager at the brewery I work at. Bestseller, and I would like to keep some foam on it. It's interesting because we literally almost had. Can you hear me? I do. I am shaking my foot. I'll stop shaking my foot. I do. I'm a finely tuned machine. Okay, I'll stop shaking. I'll stop shaking my foot. But I was just having this conversation with a pro brewer buddy of mine, and we're talking about making adjunct lager and wanting to maintain foam. First of all, the real problem in a beer like this is when you're making an adjunct lager, whether there's 11% adjunct, we're talking flaked rice, flaked corn, something like that, or up to 20, 30, 40%, the more adjunct that you add to your beer, the less foam positive proteins you are introducing to your beer in the grist. All right. So you're going to have a harder time having quality foam in beers like that. He's tried Tetra. He has tried some dextrin malt, which could help build that. I get wanting better foam on a beer like that, but sometimes those beers just aren't going to have it. All right. Because of the adjunct percentage. But we can keep digging from there, because I appreciate just wanting to try to get better at something, and this is kind of what the exercise is here. There are some different things. You mentioned the yeast strains that you're using. If you have the ability to try different yeast strains, different fermentation profiles, you can look at your nutrient usage, different things like that. Sometimes I think quality foam can come down to some of the nitpicky intangibles that comes to quality yeast handling, quality fermentation. And again, I'm not saying you're not carrying out a quality fermentation with this beer. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying try to chase the little fine point fermentation aspects potentially, right? Try to run down go down that rabbit hole. Different yeast strains, potentially nutrient, potentially different fermentation schedules. Also, try to handle that beer as gently as you can. If you can get some carbonation in that beer in the fermenter. So what I like to do when I'm making lager, I get my beer past diacetyl or VDK. It's terminal, and I crash it down. I harvest yeast, and then I continuously blow down yeast over the course of the time that it's lagering. But I put head pressure on it because I want CO2 to, as gently as possible, go into solution in that beer, because those foam sustaining proteins, in my understanding, are essentially a one and done. So if you take a beer in a package, in a can, and just shake it, and then leave it, and shake it, and leave it, in theory, you are degrading the quality of foam that you're going to get out of that beer. The more it's beat up. So if you can So if you can get if you can try to think about ways that you can be as gentle as possible with that beer, if there's any time to get a little head pressure carb, if there's any potential spunding that you could do late in the process that might hold a little bit more carbonation, so you're not ripping carbonation through the beer and generating foam in the top of your bright tank when you're carbing it, stuff like that. Those might be some things to look at as well. I also know, I believe there's a product called Biofoam. September is that it? There are some things that you can use going into the bright tank that will help with foam stability as well. September, yeah, give me a holler on that. I believe it's called Biofoam, so check that out as well. Yes, Biofoam. So maybe look at that as well. You know, and I respect that. There is something beautiful, and especially on a really nice pale beer, you know, like a straw colored beer, that beautiful white foam on top. You want it to be moussey and dense, and you know what I mean? Yeah. It's actually Biofoam K. So and no, September, I do not filter. I only use Biofine. Though I am going to start using some Brewers Clarex in beers, because fellas, ladies and gents, I gotta tell you, man, I had regrettably, I don't know what the deal is, but we did a collab with 50 West. We went over, we brewed with them, had a great day. End of the day, I had a couple beers with Ryan, the brewer over there, one of the brewers over there, and he brewed this beautiful Pilsner, man. Really tremendous German Pilsner. If you are in the Cincinnati market at all, and you can just get over to the pub or buy cans. They have it in cans, but it's their German Pils, dude. It's so spot on. It's such a great beer. And dude, I had a couple of those beers, and I was just not well for days, guys. Like from a gluten intolerance standpoint, I've got some stuff going on that I'm trying to figure out. And so I am going to be using some Brewers Clarex in some beers that significantly reduce the gluten content. Yeah, Clarity Firm. That is Clarity Firm. Yeah, Brewers Clarex and Clarity Firm, I believe, are literally the exact same thing. It's supposed to take under 20 parts per million gluten or whatever. Yeah, I've got some stuff to figure out on that side, guys, because I just have the worst time with it. I like I said, I think I had 2-3 beers with Ryan over the next couple days. I gained like 10 to 12 pounds of water, and so it's inflammation really bad. And then and I keep a pretty, I try to take care of myself. I eat pretty well. And so it wasn't that like I splurged on a bunch of salty stuff or whatever. I just had my regular diet and had a couple beers, and I just put on a ton of water weight. My body's killing me, and I get like super anxious and super depressed. Like it's really been rough, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've been this past week, I finally just said the heck with it, and I know I can eat grilled chicken, and I can eat broccoli, and I can eat rice. That's essentially what I've been eating all week, and I'm probably gonna do like for the next month, just to try to get everything kind of back in line. Yes, September, I had 2 or 3 beers, and I gained 10 to 12 pounds, and then back when I go back to like not eating gluten, and then like 24 hours later, like I pee all day long, and then I lose all the weight. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Lettuce wrap hamburgers. That's right, baby. But there are some things out there. Now, I am not celiac. So if you're not celiac and you are gluten sensitive, I would really recommend checking out Clarity Firm, different things like that. And I a Pilsner I'm brewing this coming week that I'm really excited about. I'm gonna use Clarity Firm in it, and we'll see how it goes. So does that happen when you drink? Yes, that happens when I drink beer, period. It's my beer, other people's beer. Yeah, and I feel like it's actually I feel like it's been getting worse. But anyways, enough about that. Just enough to talk about the fact that I'm going to be working with Clarity Firm a little bit, and we'll see. Yeah, and eating stuff with gluten gets me too. But yeah, I mean that's me not eating gluten and just having a few. Oh no, actually, it was a Friday, and so I had they had a killer fish sandwich, but I had it with no bun. But the fish was fried. So I had a fried fish fillet, which was delicious, and 2-3 beers with Ryan. And honestly, dude, it's just not worth it for me. It's rough. We'll get it figured out though. We'll get it figured out.